oftentimes when you come on the program, something has happened. There might be a piece of legislation or someone has said something. There are many news stories tangentially linked to Bitcoin right now, but I don't see like one single catalyst that's holding up an entire crypto industry.
Well, I do think there is one common thread right now among the crypto industry, and that's that this year we have seen tremendous progress on the public policy front. We've had a very strong leadership by the White House with the executive orders. We've had the stablecoin legislation, the Genius Act, signed into law this summer. And then we have the SEC's Project Crypto, which is issuing guidance for how securities laws apply to this space. And so I do think as we look across crypto generally, but specifically to Bitcoin and also to Solana, which I care deeply about, we have this common thread of it's okay if you're an asset allocator or if you're an exchange or a bank to be looking at this sector because it's going to be a part of our financial future going forward.
But Kristin, we have a government shutdown.
We do. We do. Well, crypto markets never sleep, but the government...
Some of the agencies do during a government shutdown.
Some of the agencies do. Yes. Listen, I'm not going to lie to you. It is a short-term setback to have the federal agencies shut down right now, particularly with the SEC and the CFTC. We have over 90% of the staff furloughed at those agencies right now. And so that means routine things like approval of new S1s or S3s have a real impact, particularly when it comes to things like Solana exchange-traded products, which are on the cusp of going live. We just need to get the corporate finance staff at the SEC back. Or similarly, new IPOs in the crypto space like BitCo are impacted by the shutdown. But Congress is working. The Senate is in, and the legislative discussions are continuing there. And so I think this is a short-term setback. And as soon as the government opens up, we'll be back on track.
What's interesting is some of the froth or the constant headlines, a million of them as Ed references, but they were all about digital asset treasuries at one point. And that seems to have cooled a lot. I'm even looking at Strategy, the artist formerly known as MicroStrategy, now off by about 7% in the last few days alone. Is the wind coming out of that particular trade sales?
Well, I think there was a lot of interest over the summer, and I think there is continued interest, and there will be some consolidation. But if you step back, if you look at digital asset treasuries, what's going on here is that for a long time, there were no way for traditional investors to access exposure to crypto assets. And digital asset treasuries have kind of filled that void in the more favorable regulatory environment. And I think what we're seeing these digital asset treasuries do is, yes, they are accumulating the token, but they're also participating in the network. So in the case of Solana, they are staking it. These DATs are operating validators, and they're trying to be good stewards of the treasuries in ways that are a little bit more expansive than an ETF will be able to do once those are approved. So I do think DATs are going to continue to play a role. I think we'll likely probably see some consolidation among the DATs going forward. But I think if you think about it, for a long time, these treasuries were held largely with foundations that were limited in what they could do with the treasuries of tokens they were sitting on. So I think the DATs are a new and innovative model, but it's also a way for investors to have a different option for getting exposure to these assets. And with something like Solana, we think this is going to be the future rails for finance. And so it's a great way to get exposure to the asset class.
I'm looking at Solana up 100% in the last 6 months alone, Kristin. But this isn't just an American story. This isn't just about regulatory clarity in America. These are global assets. What other countries are doing it right now?
Yeah, well, I think Dubai is one hub that is particularly strong. I think Switzerland has also had a lot of interest, and there's incredible excitement coming out of different parts of Asia. And so, yes, I think the fact that this is a global technology is what makes it so compelling. It means that you can have anyone who has access to a phone on the same set of rails and provide the same access to investors or access to investment opportunities. And so I think it's a really exciting potential. And I think as the U.S. continues to move along and get these good policies in place, we're going to see more competition and maybe even a bit of freeing up of some of the more restrictive policies around the globe. But we are seeing competition, particularly out of the Middle East and Asia.